Morning guys, we're up nice and early. So we've got a big 2-hour drive ahead of us to take Lily in to be assessed for some holistic therapy in a guy out in Western Sydney. So I've got to go hit the highway, take Lily in, see what we can do. Hey, a couple of different options. He does a couple of really good alternate medicines and therapies for dogs. He's got a really good reputation, so hopefully we can do something to help out Lily. Let's hit the road. Rightio, we're on the road. It's a beautiful morning. Not a cloud in the sky. There's a whole heap of fog in the valley as well, which is every morning. I'll see if we can get some for you. Is that traffic coming back the other way. I'm hoping that's just normal peak hour traffic heading into the city, but that's been for about 25 k's now on this road, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down. If that is the morning commute for these guys, that's the normal thing. That would not be fun. Right out to the outer suburbs of Sydney, the outer western suburbs, and quite a large, densely populated area for Sydney, so this is one of the main arterial roads in town. But that was crazy banged up traffic at 7 o'clock in the morning. G'day guys, so we're out in Camden. I've never been here. I've heard that it is just a long way out from Sydney, but it's a beautiful little town. It's like a really nice country town. We've got Lily here, hey darling. Good girl. It's like this really nice little country feel, what looks to be, you know, all the old school little butcher shops and cafes, and so gonna have a little coffee, and Lily's excited to be out. Come on darling, this way. Good girl, Lily. We're about 6 minutes away from where we need to go, and it's just all farmland out from here. So quick coffee and a walk, stretch your legs for Lily. We're off. Come on. Come on. Oh no, that's Butcher. Good girl. No. Good girl. Come here. Sit. Good. Hi, darling. Oh. We got some snacks. Oh, hey, darling. Hold on. Stay here. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, good girl, darling. What do you have? Okay. I feel really bad because good girl, Lily. I feel really bad because a lady stopped me in the street and said, "Luke," and Lily barked at her quite defensively, and she got a little bit startled. But she's very protective, Lily. You know, I haven't had her in this environment before, and she is very protective. She's not aggressive. That's the thing. I just had her tied to a chair out in front of the shop, and people were walking past, and she's got no trouble at all walking past, letting people walk past, saying hello to her. But good girl. But when they talk to me, good girl. Come on. Okay. Slow down. Okay, come on. When they talk to me, she barks very, very defensively. So she's very protective. It's a good trait. You know, it's a...
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
But I must admit, I wasn't ready for it. I did think it was just vets that she did it to. But, yeah, and she's, you know, quite formidable, being a large German Shepherd with quite a big bark on her. So I did have to apologise to this poor lady. Lily, this way. Good girl. Good girl, Lily. Lily's very excited about being out and about in a new area. So anyway, Camden, local little cafe there, and gee, it reminded me of just a country cafe. They had these huge big homemade pies and all these sweets. Oh, couldn't help myself. Got a steak pie, got a lemon meringue tart, I got an apple strudel. I'm excited. I'm not even hungry, I'm just excited. Excited that that was there. Good girl, darling. Well, you always know you're in the country when you've got a tractor going down the main street of the town.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Corridor Road.
This much of a country community, but it is a lot of farmland. I don't even know if it's still in Sydney, is it? Not sure. Beautiful place though. It's very surprising. I'm very impressed with it. Ready to get back on, darling? This is us. Good girl. Here you going, Lily? Cool girl, darling. Well, that pie was exactly like what you would think a homemade country pie should taste like. I know, Sam, you got a soft spot for a good pie, and this was one of them. Pastry, nice and soft, but still flaky on top. Good, chunky filling, all around good country pie. Now I'm looking forward to the apple strudel. and the lemon meringue. But Lily, she had a good little walk there. Unfortunately, had a bark at a couple of people. The second one was a tradesman walking out of just sprung upon us as we were walking down the main street. The door's open, and he was a little bit funny. He walked out and stopped suddenly and went, "Whoa!" I think he might have just been scared of dogs in general, and Lily just went, "Yeah, I'll give you a bark as well." Lily, I wasn't ready. I had a coffee in my hands. But she stopped straight away and just went, "Oh yeah, okay, no worries." But very protective, Lily, aren't you? Textbook German Shepherd doing what she thinks her job is. So good stuff, Lily. Well done. Rightio, on to Animal Holistic Therapies, and fingers crossed they can help us out with making Lily a little bit more comfortable and slowing down the progression of her condition. Righto, darling, you ready? Good girl. Okay, let's see you there.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Corridor Road. In 1 kilometre, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Sheathers Lane.
Come on, darling. Lily, come on. Good girl. I didn't think we were in the right place, but we are obviously building a nice new house at the front of the property here. But we're going to go around the back. That's where the surgery is. Hopefully, no more nonsense out of you, Lily. Hey? Good behaviour from here on, darling. Say hello to the chickens. Hello, chickens. Hello, chickens. I brought some grain down for you. Oh. Hi. Yeah, darling. Yeah, darling. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl, darling. Good girl, darling. Good girl. Oh. Oh, you like going on a little adventure, do you? You like going on a little adventure, huh? You like going on a little adventure. Oh, Lily. Oh, Lily, good girl. Good girl. Oh, good girl, darling. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. 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 Typical shepherd coat this time of year. Look at that all coming out, eh? Look at all that coming out there, darling. Yeah. Does that feel better? Okay, come on. Yeah. Good girl, Lily. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, good job. Good job. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Oh, you like that? Oh, you like that bit there? Yeah, okay. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good job, darling. Oh, good girl. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Good job. Hmm? Good job. Oh, good girl. Oh. Hey, what a cool name. Look how excited he is. Look how excited he is in there. What do you think about it, Lily? What do you think about it, darling? Yeah, what do you think about it? Nope. None of that. Nope. Good girl. What's up? Good girl. Yeah.
Morning.
Hello, how are you?
Very well.
Nope. She's going to bark at you once and then that'll be the end of it. Yeah, she'll be okay.
Use the shepherds.
Yep.
Come on in.
Good girl, darling. Good girl.
My name's Neil.
G'day Neil, I'm Luke.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Heard a lot of good things about you.
That's good to hear.
So, yeah, Lily's just been diagnosed with... There you go, she's good now. Good girl, darling. Lily's just been diagnosed with Gracilis Muscle Contracture in the rear legs. Mm-hmm. The vets haven't really got any sort of management plan at this point. They said we can try a few things. So one of our clients said they brought one of their old dogs to you and it made a world of difference. Okay. So we just thought we'd come out and see what you thought, if there was anything you could do for her.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. It's an interesting condition.
Yeah.
The fibrosis myopathy. So it's fancy words for scarring and calcification of muscle tissue.
Yeah.
Basically the build-up of fibrous tissue within the muscle fibers, stopping them from being elastic.
Yeah.
It tends to happen, it can happen through the whole body, but with shepherds, it seems to affect their gracilis muscle first on the inside of their back leg, because that seems to be the muscle that's under most pressure because of the angulation in their hindquarters. Okay. Seems to be genetic, definitely genetic. You barely ever see in any other breed besides shepherds.
Really?
It's really unusual. Okay. That it seems to be completely isolated to shepherds. Yeah. There hasn't been a lot of research done on it. probably because it's not life-threatening, so they don't get a lot of funding for that sort of thing. There's a lot of other things that need their support, so they're focusing more on like the degenerative myopathy and those sorts of conditions that are life-threatening rather than these sorts of conditions. But it can make them uncomfortable. Can over time develop to the point where their legs get very stiff. They can't move their hind legs as well as they should. Their range of motion reduces, and then that starts to affect their hips, starts to affect the back.
Right.
And so there's a whole series of other things that can happen because of it. But there does seem to be some things that we can do to manage it and slow down the progression. And in some cases improve. Trying to help with trying to get that elasticity to stay within those muscle tissues and to try and slow down the progression. Some cases we can get it to reduce a little bit with some techniques I'll show you to be doing at home, and some supplements that could be of benefit. But it's definitely a management plan.
Exactly. So if we can sort of just work out some way to prolong her quality of life before it gets debilitating, that's the main objective, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, darling.
All right, let's put her up on the table.
Okay.
Let's down. Come here. Good girl. Good. So let's go through and examine the whole body and see what's going on, see if there's any other issues that are underlying. Any areas that she's getting any secondary issues. So it can have a tendency of compensating. What sort of environment is she in? Is she on a farm? Or
we live on a farm. She lives with a pack of 20 dogs. And we used to run a doggy daycare, so there were 40 dogs that came up each day also. She was a client's dog, and now we've adopted her. And she's been living with us for, well, officially around 12 months, but unofficially a little bit longer. So she's got lots of room to run around and play, and she is very active. Anytime I get on the motorbike, she's right there next to me, running around. We go on bushwalks and all sorts. So she is very active, and that was one of the things I asked the vet, do I need to slow her down, or should I just let her go? Is it something that is going to affect it? And the answer that they gave me was no, it's just going to degrade over time regardless. So then I just thought, then we'll just let her, live her best life as however she wants to. But we've got hydrotherapy, magnesium pools, we've got a heated pool, we've got dams. So she lives a pretty good life. She likes to get into the platforms, which are only about a foot deep. But if I'm in the water, she often gets in and swims after me. But she likes to watch from the sidelines in waist deep water. But
swimming's a good exercise for this condition.
It is good? Okay, well, make sure she gets in then.
Because it will, particularly if they're using their back legs and front legs correctly, it will help to take her body through its full range of motion without putting pressure on the joints. So it's kind of stretching that muscle tissue. that's trying to restrict.
Okay.
So it's just reiterating that the length of muscle tissue is just lengthening rather than constantly contracting.
Right.
Where she's actively running around, say chasing the quad bike and all that can be again helpful to keep that extension through a movement. But just also understanding that when they do have like a muscle injury or so forth, that's when you'll see a trigger, and that's when the calcification will start to develop in that area.
Right. Okay.
So it seems to be the progression, but we see it definitely more focused in the gracilis muscles.
As in like a muscle tear, so to speak. It won't heal normally, it'll heal calcified and shorten up. Okay, so we do need to manage that then. But yeah, the swimming thing, you know, I assumed it would be able to do some kind of benefit, but I'll definitely make sure she gets in now every time.
Even if she needs a little life vest to feel more secure swimming.
Yeah, yep, we've got a couple of those. But when she does swim, she does use what looks to be her full range of motion. Right. So,
she seems to have pretty good extension in both hind legs at the moment.
Yep.
So that's a good sign that range of motion hasn't affected the hip movement as yet. There is a restriction when adducting the leg outwards.
Yep.
Or abducting, sorry.
Yep.
Taking that leg out, but that's pretty normal when we have these sorts of scarring developing on the gracilis muscle.
Yeah. So when we first noticed it, we actually thought it might have been hip dysplasia, because as you're watching her from the side, it kind of her legs turn in because it's not able to have that natural track.
Sure.
But I have noticed, I think it came to our attention for the first time maybe 5 weeks ago, and I have noticed it look a little worse in that short period of time.
Yeah, okay. Have we got her on any supplements at the moment?
She's on CBD oil for anti-inflammatories, but that's about it.
Okay. Which type of CBD oil? Is it the proper one, or is it the hemp seed oil type?
When you say proper one, what do you mean?
Is it the expensive one, or is it the cheap one?
It's an expensive one that was prescribed to me, and I'm giving it to her. So it's a THC free from a authorized pharmaceutical lab.
Great. Fantastic. What's the concentration that she's getting?
So I'm giving her 1 ml a day.
Yeah.
And it is a... Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's a 50 milligram dose.
Okay, all right.
I think. Because the bottle is 1,000 and there was...
1,000 milligrams?
Yeah.
In 50 mils?
No. In 1 milliliter, it's 50 milligrams.
Yeah, okay.
I believe.
Yeah,
I think. I'm not sure.
Right. So that dosage would be about right. So when examining through her body, there are some areas where there does seem to be some discomfort. So when palpating through the spine, we'll see when we get through this area.
So there's two areas right about where you are that the vertebrae have, what was the term they used, but basically self-stabilizing, so they've bridged and connected on two vertebrae there.
One down here as well? Or
Yeah, two, yep.
Yeah, so seems to be, it doesn't necessarily come in hand with the calcification that we get in the muscle tissue, but it's not unusual to see them both.
Okay.
And that could be more of the contour of the spine of the shepherd. We see a lot of bridging and calcification through the spine in shepherds.
Right.
Spondylosis is the term, so where the actual, essentially arthritic changes that have developed through the spine where those vertebrae are narrowed to the point where they bridge, so they calcify and kind of protect that area from excessive movement. The downside to that is then they lose the flexibility in that section of their spine, and then it becomes rigid and can then start to irritate the ligament tissue around that site.
Okay.
So because we're seeing the calcification occurring in the muscle tissue and the gracilis, we need to help her body produce more collagen.
Okay.
So collagen is one of the main things that the body uses for elasticity,
Yep.
for movement, for stretching, tissues in our body. So the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the soft tissue, everything uses collagen for elasticity and movement.
Okay.
In these sorts of cases where we're seeing this sort of calcification occurring, the collagen can be helpful to slow down that progression of calcification overlay in the soft tissue, and can in some cases assist in breaking down what's already there over time. So in her case, I'd probably recommend using a combination of both types. So that you can use hydrolyzed collagen, which is basically a collagen that's broken down from a form of animal. So it's usually beef.
Yeah.
So it's derived from the cartilage in the cattle.
Okay.
And from the skin and all the areas where they would find collagen peptides. So that comes in a powdered form. So the aim there is introducing hydrolyzed collagen in her body, so then the body can use that as building blocks to produce collagen where it needs to in the body.
Mm-hmm.
The other option with supplements is to use minerals and herbs which stimulate her body to produce its own collagen.
Okay.
And there's a couple of herbs that we can use for that. Horsetail stem is probably the best. And then there's a couple of minerals as well that can be very effective. Silica is one of them. It's very helpful for producing collagen in the body. Normally used for hair, skin and nails.
Right.
Because there's a lot of collagen required for that
Okay.
to be healthy. But very effective for spinal issues, for muscular contractures and so forth as well.
Right.
In her case, I'd probably suggest maybe using both.
Yeah.
To give her both building blocks and also the stimulatory herbs and minerals to ensure that those building blocks are being used correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Which would help both her spine, where we're seeing those sorts of bridging occurring, and also for the muscle contraction.
Sure.
We'll give her some treatment today as well, for both this back and for the contraction that's happening in the muscles. Now, understanding the treatment that we do on these muscles is more of a relief to try and help with some of this irritation. We can't really break this down just with the treatments, but the infrared laser can be helpful, but normally it has to be used fairly regularly for it to be of benefit in breaking down scar tissue. There'll be some massage techniques I'll give you today to try and work on this at home, just to help knead it and try and keep breaking up that calcification that occurs. It can be effective. It's a very effective tool that's used mostly for greyhounds that get a lot of injuries in their gracilis muscles from racing, and can be quite effective for slowing down that progression of scar tissue. Whereabouts is your farm, Luke?
We're on the central coast up north.
Yeah, right. Quite a mission for you to get here today.
Yeah, it was a early start, but you know, we didn't have many options with the vets, so thought we would come down and see what we could do.
tolerant.
Isn't she? I thought so too.
So this thing here is what's called an infrared laser therapy. And it's a very specific type of laser called gallium arsenide laser. There's many types of lasers, but this one particularly is very helpful for soft tissue injuries. It works by sending a very specific type of infrared light into the soft tissue, so the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, and stimulates the cells in those areas to release an endorphin, which has a nice pain relieving effect and will assist in reducing the inflammation around the site. The other thing it'll do is it stimulates the cells to produce more energy, so ATP, which is the energy that all cells use to function. So it stimulates those cells to create that ATP at a faster rate if they're not working efficiently, and so that allows them to heal a little bit quicker if there is a bit of an injury. So in this case, we're treating it through the spine and then also through the calcification in those gracilis muscles. So we're essentially trying to get these muscles to relax.
Yeah.
So then in a moment I'll use an activator, which is a chiropractic tool that we'll use to send a very light but fast compression through each segment of the spine to stimulate nerve activity, what's called spinal proprioception. So making sure that all the soft tissue is getting all the nerve supply it needs to function as efficiently as possible. So the collagen, I would suggest, it's just a regular human collagen, doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Okay.
There are dog versions, but they're usually the same.
Yeah.
So this hydrolyzed collagen usually comes in a powder. The other type is the tablet version normally, which has the combination of the herbs, horsetail stem, and usually silica as well, combined in the two. And they would be the two options I'd be suggesting for her.
Okay. Do you have them here, or I'd have to go get them?
I do have both collagen and the tablet version as well. So we can get you started on that. Because you live so far away, the aim of this is trying to just be more management at home.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the collagen you can get online just from their website. If you're struggling to get the tablet that I'll send you home with, there are other versions of it, but this one's a pretty good version.
Yeah.
So if you can source it up there, all the better.
Sure.
If you're struggling to, just let me know and I'll let you know of other options you can use instead.
And then what about this with the acupuncture and the laser?
Yeah.
Would that be something that...
Sure. I mean, if you live just down the road, I'd suggest maybe seeing her weekly for about 3 or 4 weeks. Not only to see if we can get the scarring to break down a little bit in those gracilis muscles, but more importantly to help with her spinal movement.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
I'm going to say coming up to 5.
Yeah.
So she's only quite young.
Quite young. We're already seeing spondylosis bridging through the spine. That's problematic.
Yep.
So we just got to try. The main thing I'm concerned about is the movement and flexibility of the spine. Because if we're already getting bridging at 5, left to its own devices by the age of 8, 9 should be cactus.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, there's no problem coming down to keep getting treatment. That's not an issue.
Any other questions for me?
No, not really. It's really, like, obviously you've already been very informative as to exactly what the go is and how to, you know, you're attempt to, or objective to treat it. So I suppose the only question would be, what kind of realistic expectations can we sort of expect for her progression over the next couple of years?
Well,
Stay there, darling.
it very much depends on their level of activity.
Yeah.
Unusually, well, it sounds counterintuitive, but usually the ones that are just kept left to their own devices, where they're kind of chilling out at home, calcification occurs much quicker.
Okay.
It's more of a case of if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
With this condition.
Yeah. Okay.
So mobility and movement is very important.
Okay. That's
so
something easy for her.
For sure, in your environment, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
So keeping her active is important.
Okay.
But also understanding if she's tearing up and down after balls or sticks and so forth, that's probably not the sort of exercise we want to focus on.
Yeah.
Where there's sharp directional, fast changes of movement, where it's going to put excessive pressure, particularly on her gracilis muscles.
Yeah. So straight line running is fine.
Yes.
Sharp turns and that kind of thing is not great. Swimming's good.
Swimming's good.
Yeah, which is really most of what she does. If we're going on a quad bike, it's usually a big open paddock, having a big run.
Yeah.
I'll make sure she gets in the pool a lot more. When we're walking, she does love to grab a stick and then jump around and dance in front of me to show it off.
That's okay. I mean, she still needs to be able to be a dog.
Yeah.
But just don't throw it for her.
Yeah, sure.
Tearing after that and then stopping quickly, turn around.
Right, got you. Yep.
That
Okay.
puts a lot of pressure on the gracilis muscles.
Sure. Good girl, darling. Stay there. Good girl.
So in regards to progress or prognosis going forward, if they are kept active, and the supplements does seem to slow down the progression. Being mindful of it, massaging them fairly regularly. They can all be helpful to try and progress and just make her movement more comfortable for a longer period of time. But it's hard to put a date per se on it.
Yeah.
Some they contract quite quickly over a 2 to 3 year period.
Yeah. Okay.
Others they kind of just stabilise.
Yeah. Right.
But I typically find there's a correlation between how much the owner puts into managing it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just thinking, oh well, there's not much I can do.
Yeah.
Just let them enjoy their life, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to work out.
Which is kind of where the vets were.
Yeah.
Not much we can do about it. It's genetic.
Yeah. Definitely genetic, no question about it. But where there are ways that we can slow down that.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
And again, just making sure that the rest of the body doesn't compensate for that and then get other issues.
Yeah. Yeah, it made sense to me that something like swimming would help, but the vets were like, oh no, it's nothing you can do about it. So I was like, okay. Which is why we're here, I suppose.
I mean, I'm very lucky that I'm able to specialise in musculoskeletal issues.
Yeah.
Veterinarians, their range of expertise has to be so broad.
Yeah, sure.
They have to be on point on all sorts of subjects and issues with dogs and all different species, not just dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs, cats, birds, reptiles, large animals. So it's just a different sort of field.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough where I can focus specifically on injuries and musculoskeletal conditions. And so with that, I have a bit of extra time to focus on investigating these other options.
Yeah.
Is there a pattern here? Is there a way to try and manage this a bit better long term?
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for veterinarians. They have to go through a lot. It's
Yeah.
a tough gig.
Yeah.
More and more now, it seems to be becoming very much like if it doesn't fit in the pharmaceutical treatment, if it doesn't fit in the surgical treatment, then there's not much that can be offered. Unless the veterinarians are taking the time to investigate other modalities after they finish their training and actually intently investigate other avenues, then that's usually where they stay.
Yeah, I know, and we know someone who is a vet, and like you say, you know, it's not just one animal that they're studying, you know, absolutely every animal there is that would go into a vet, and so it is something that, you know, personally, they should be getting paid more for that kind of degree.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's a hard gig.
Even with a GP, you know, they've just got the human body to deal with. It's just one species.
They got it easy though for the vets. Yeah. And they don't talk. They don't tell you what's wrong. You got to find it out.
Stay there now. Okay. So maintain the CBD oil as well as...
Yeah, so the CBD oils are a very helpful sort of treatment where it does help reduce inflammation in the body. Interesting way in the way it works though. It doesn't seem to work just on inflammatory conditions. It seems to affect the whole body on a hormonal level as well. They found recently that all mammals have what's called an endocannabinoidal system in our body, which works fairly synonymously with the endocrine system. But and we would normally get like the cannabinoid oils in our vegetables, our fruits, and all the things that we would normally eat.
Yeah.
Due to genetic modification and all the pesticides and additives, that's kind of been removed or just gone from diluted from our general day-to-day sort of nutrition. Whereas the hemp plants a very high concentration of those cannabinoid oils. Yeah. So when we start ingesting that seems to wake up that endocannabinoid system in our body, and then that starts to help regulate the hormone imbalances in the body. One of them is inflammatory conditions.
Yeah, right.
It has all sorts of range of treatment options. We're only just scraping the surface.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting what we'll find coming forward.
Yeah, it's interesting because it has a stigma of being associated with an illegal substance.
Yeah, sure.
But the more I researched into it, the more it was something that seemed that could benefit a lot more people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, up until now, the growth and development of the marijuana plant's been focusing more on concentrations of THC and the terpene profiles of THC to get that high and so forth. Where it's been, the science has been more about how to get a better high for that sort of illegal substance. But now the tables are turning. It's more about what health benefits can we get from these different profiles. Yeah. And then trying to, selectively breed the hemp plant to produce more of those sorts of profiles, which are going to have more health benefits. Yeah. But already they're seeing that there are different plant types within the hemp world. Some are more specifically suited for treating epilepsy. Right. Others are more suitable for treating inflammatory conditions. Okay. Very specific terpene profiles will adjust the way that it affects the body. Yeah. It's fascinating. Okay, sweetie, this is the next bit. Have a look, have a sniff. Alright, so this is the activator we're talking about. Okay. I'll just go through fairly lightly so she can get used to it first. Good girl.
She's tender there, isn't she?
Yeah, there's a bit more of a reaction through that lower lumbar region. So we'll go through 3 times.
Do you want me to hold her anywhere particular?
Try and keep her head a little bit straighter for me. Good girl. Good girl. tricky. We'll get you down.
Yeah, darling, how was that, eh? Sorry about the shepherd hair.
That's all right. Comes with the territory.
We've got 4 shepherds at home, so
Oh, okay.
our land room is, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Almost to the point where you give up vacuuming.
Yeah, pretty much. We just deal with it.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for today. Ideally, if we can keep it quiet for the next day or so, just give the treatment a chance to settle down.
Okay.
So if you were doing any exercise, keep it on lead as best you can for the rest of the day.
Right.
And maybe tomorrow till about lunchtime.
Uh-huh.
If you would normally take it for a run every day on the quad, maybe give that a bit of an easy run by tomorrow afternoon.
Yep.
And then back to swimming if you're doing that daily after day 3.
So no swimming tomorrow?
Try and avoid, no swimming tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just want to get that back, just a chance to settle down. The swimming, if she hasn't been a swimmer, swimming is quite arduous on the paravertebral muscles through the spine, so I don't want to overdo that just after the treatment.
So quite a couple of days, and then towards the end of the week,
start building it up again.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Well, that was very promising for Lily. Neil Barnsley was who we just saw there, and I was very happy with his opinion on her condition, and the fact that he suspects we can manage it a little better than just simply, what we were told previously, which is we can't really do anything. I think he is a very knowledgeable person and very forthcoming with the information, so it was well worth heading down there. So we'll be back again next week to do some more treatment and some massage, and hopefully we'll be able to get some relief for Lily and prolong her quality of life rather than just waiting for it to continually get worse. It was good to hear that exercise and mobility and movement and swimming are all things that are good for Lily, because she loves those things. So that's really promising that we don't have to take those things away from her. Better yet, it's actually going to be good for her condition. So awesome stuff. Now I'm going to have to turn the camera off here because there's some roadworks there, can't turn around, need to find my way out of here back to the farm. Righto guys, I'll touch base again soon when I'm on the road. It made a lot of sense. It was very similar to myself having multiple injuries from my military service, and doctors saying take these pills, if that doesn't work, maybe look at surgery, all those kind of things. But then really I've just gone down a path of managing myself with physiotherapy and natural vitamins and minerals, and
Turn right onto Ellis Lane.
going down a more practical approach. And I found it very similar in that case where it's a muscle. It's a genetic condition, but it's also a muscle, so its muscles calcifying and shortening, but through exercise and massage and acupuncture, and he did some infrared laser therapy as well, which are all designed to relax some of those muscles, help promote your body to produce its own healing process. And
Continue on Ellis Lane for 1.5 kilometers.
I just thought that was a much better and more what's the word I'm looking for here? Basically, the vets said there's nothing to cure it and there's no medical treatment for it. Whereas, at least with this approach with Neil, there are things that you can do to prolong her quality of life and slow down the degradation of those muscles in her condition. I just thought it was very promising. It gave me a little bit of hope that we can do something about it to help Lily along. She's only a young dog in the scheme of things, and so she's got a long road ahead of her. She's got many years ahead of her that we need to try to maintain a high quality of life. And it is a long way out from where we are. It's a bit over 2 hours on the road to get here, but for Lily's sake, it's well worth it. We've booked in for next week to come back and continue on with the therapy, do some massage. He said he's going to show me some techniques to massage Lily at home so that we can help break down that calcification in her muscles and help maintain a little bit of elasticity in those muscles and slow down.
In 500 meters, turn left onto Warumbi Road.
The other thing that was a little bit concerning was that he did mention the self-stabilization of her vertebrae, which we picked up in a couple of x-rays a few weeks ago. That was what he was saying.
Turn left onto Warumbi Road.
Due to the fact that she is such a young dog, meaning that he expects those vertebrae to continue to self-stabilize and keep bridging across the cartilage there, which would mean that she's going to lose a lot of mobility in her back as well. It's a bit of a concern, it's all...
Continue on Warumbi Road for 1 kilometer.
It was a lot to take in initially with Lily, and a lot of the other vets were like, oh yeah, not really concerned about these scenarios, I'm more concerned about this. You kind of diverted your attention back and forth a few times, and I suppose when it all starts to sink in, Lily's got a tough road ahead of her. It's not a good thing to think about. She's potentially got
in 500 meters, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Warumbi Road.
What should be her peak performance of her body, it's already breaking down and causing some issues. So the goal is to maintain as much quality and movement and strength in her body as we can. But I think that we're in good hands here. So if you do live in Sydney or in the surrounding areas and you have a dog with or a cat with a musculoskeletal issue, then I do recommend booking in with Neil and seeing if there's anything that he can do for you, because I think it would be very beneficial. He came very highly recommended from a few of our clients, and it wasn't until Lily's condition came up that someone else mentioned again that, oh, you should go see Neil. And we thought, yeah, we totally should. and booked in, and it's well worth it. I'm coming away from there with a lot more confidence that we can help Lily, and you know, we can do something for her rather than just sit back and let this condition take hold.
In 500 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Quarter Road.
Very positive coming out of it. We've got a few supplements to take home and help Lily's body produce her own collagen, and I think I might go and get some more collagen for myself as well, because it sounded like it was very beneficial for every part of your body that has some form of movement. And I can tell you right now, I could do with a little bit more movement in my body.
Head northeast on Quarter Road towards Barsden Street.
We're on the road.
In 500 meters, turn right onto Barsden Street.
Town centre. Once again, beautiful country town, lovely countryside. Welcome to Camden, a tidy town. It is tidy, and I love the old town or farm town feel.
Turn right onto Barsden Street.
Or do I stop for some lunch? I've still got that lemon meringue pie. I'm good.
In 200 meters, turn right onto Broughton Street. Head northeast on Quarter Road.
Positive stuff.
In 200 meters, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Quarter Road.
Absorb as much information as I can from those appointments and continue with Lily's treatment as much as she requires. Rightio guys, hope you're having a good day.
In 100 meters, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Murray Street.
Unfortunately, there's no swimming and no running for Lily today after her treatment. You just need her to relax, settle those muscles down, and some light running again tomorrow afternoon, and some swimming starting the day after. So no more sitting on the sideline.
In 150 meters, keep right to stay on Murray Street.
So swimming is good for the condition, and so therefore Lily will now be
Head northeast on Argyle Street towards Oxley Street. In 150 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on Argyle Street.
Keeping it comfortable on the sidelines. So time for some swimming, Lil. Righto guys, have a good day. Speak to you guys soon. And this was the little coffee shop that I stopped this morning. Continental Patisserie, creme de la creme. It was very nice.